Hey, you made it. So glad you did. Now, I know it's the holiday season. You probably have your turkey or your duck or your chicken, whatever have you. But hey, you can have ribs too. Now, I'm not saying to have ribs, on the holiday, but what I'm saying is the weekend after, so you don't get that flavor fatigue, right? Have some ribs, enjoy yourself, rejuvenate your taste buds. And I know this is Huli Huli ribs, and I also know that Huli Huli means turn, turn. Now, I'm smoking these ribs, so there's not going to be a lot of turning in it. So look here. Hey, here's a little fun fact. If you don't turn the ribs, it's not Hawaiian Huli Huli ribs, right? It's Polynesian. Yeah, yeah. And Polynesian, that encompasses a whole lot of people. Native Hawaiians, right? Samoans, right? Tongans, the Maori, the Maoli, Nuiza Maoli, Nuiza Hawaii. There's a lot of people, right? So just enjoy the food, and I hope you enjoy this, because look at this. This is what I got coming to you. Look at that. You gotta love that. Yeah. Huli Huli marinated ribs. I'm gonna taste them. I'm gonna get this little guy here just a little bit. Little piece. I kind of hate that I just dropped that little piece of meat. It's a dead soldier, but what I got here is good. Look at that. Clean bone. Enjoy this. Hey, this is Shrashira. That's the best elevator music I ever heard. Alright, so now for this recipe, we're going to be using 1 cup pineapple juice. Here we have half a cup soy sauce, half a cup brown sugar, about 2 tablespoons of garlic, minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of minced ginger. We have a teaspoon of sesame oil. Okay. We have a 1/4 cup of rice wine vinegar. We have a 1/4 cup of sherry cooking wine. Okay, and we have 3/4 cup of ketchup. Right, and I got my honey bear back out, so we're going to be using about a 1/4 cup of honey. And then the star of the show, we have our ribs. Now I've already cut them. I cut it into St. Louis style rib cut. I prefer those. It's not too fatty when you eat it. And so now let's get these ingredients mixed up. Let's get this marinade mixed up. I have our ketchup here. I'm using a 4-cup measuring cup, hopefully to hold everything. So let's add our pineapple juice. Okay, that in there. Add our soy sauce. All right. Rice wine vinegar, that goes in there. Sherry cooking wine goes in. Let's get our sesame oil in there. And you gotta be careful with sesame oil. You don't want to overdo it. Let's get our ginger in here. Right. Our garlic. That in. And lastly, our brown sugar. Let's get all that in. Okay. Now let's get this all mixed up. And you want to mix this until the sugar dissolves. Right? It may take about a minute, maybe a minute and a half. It's not long. It might not even take that long. Now at this point we're going to add our honey. We're going to add about 1/4 cup. There we go. Now let's get this mixed in. Let that honey dissolve. You know, just because this is bothering me, I'm going to go ahead and fill this all the way up to the 4 cups. I want to even 4 cups. Don't come for me. Alright, so what I've done is I've added more pineapple juice just to get it, you know, above that 4 cup mark. Alright. I just need to be close to even. I don't know. More the merrier. It's not going to hurt it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we're going to add half of this to our ribs. Okay, so let's pour half of this in. Alright, let's see what we got. There we go. This guy's sealed up. Press the air out. Best you can. Now just massage your ribs. Okay. Now we're going to put these in the refrigerator overnight. You know, right now for me, it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, if you watch my videos and hear me talk, you know my sleeping pattern is all jacked up. So I'm able to do this type of stuff. So it's about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to let this sit in the refrigerator for about 8 hours. And at that point, I'm going to fire up the grill, the smoker, and we'll go from there. Now, what I am going to do though, is every hour or so, I'm going to massage it and turn it over, right? To make sure the marinade gets everywhere. So I'll see you probably, I'll do it 1 or 2 times. So I'll see you in about an hour. Oh yeah, that last 2 cups, we're going to put that in the jar. We're going to also put that in the refrigerator. And we're going to use that to baste our ribs with. We're using everything, folks. Here we go. Alright, so it's been about an hour. It's nice and rubbed, nice and massaged. Turn it over. And back in the fridge it goes for another hour. Alright, so it's time to flip this again. Give it a little massage. Turn it over. And you get the gist of it now. You don't need to see all the other turns. So next time you see this, it'll be ready to start to get on the smoker. See you then. So it's been just over 8 hours. I have the charcoals getting fired up right now on the smoker. Our ribs look nice. They're nice and marinated. Right? Now I'm letting these guys sit out while the smoker's getting ready. You want to get them as close to room temperature as you can before you put them on the smoker. It just makes for an easier cook, or I guess I could say, it will help it cook evenly, right? So you won't have, cold spots, icy spots. Everything will just cook real smooth. So keep that in mind, right? And for the wood today, I'm going to be using a mixture of mesquite and apple. This is a variation of the Huli Huli marinade for chicken, but this is for pork. And traditionally, they use the kiwi wood, but I don't have that. But so that's why I'm using the combination of mesquite and apple. It's an excellent substitute for it. Okay, or you could just go directly apple, or any type of fruit would work. But I just happen to have the two, so I'm going to use those. Let me get back to it. Okay, we're about to put the ribs on, and after they've been smoking for about an hour, I'm going to spritz them, right, about every 20 minutes or so for 2 hours after that, right? And in this, my spritz this time, I have my apple cider vinegar in there. I have pineapple juice, and I have some orange juice, okay? And that's all I'm going to need. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, so the first hour is done. I'm going to take you out there with me. We're going to do our first spritz and see what it looks like. So come on, let's see it. It looks pretty good for the first hour. Let's do our spritz. Smells good. Alright, we're going to add some more wood and some more chocolate. Okay, so it's been 3 hours. I know I was adding wood, every hour, but you know what? You only need to add the smoked wood for the first 2 hours, because after that, you're not really going to get that much more smoke on it, right? So now, it's been only 3 hours. Remember our reserve? We're going to pour some of that on it, right? Get that poured on it. And then we're going to wrap this. And we're going to put it back on the smoker for 2 hours. So let's get this wrapped. Get it wrapped real well. Nice and tight. Okay, and we're going to put this back on the smoker for 2 hours. And it's going to steam, and all the flavors are going to get into the meat. So if it wasn't in the meat before, it's definitely going to get in there now. And yes, I know this is the meat side up, which is fine, because the steam is going to take care of all that, right? So let's get this out here on the smoker, and I'll see you in 2 hours. Okay, so we have our sauce here, our reserve sauce. We're going to heat this up. And once this gets heated up, we're going to add this to the ribs. Now what we're going to do now, while this is warming up, we're going to take our ribs. They've been 2 hours wrapped up. Now we're going to take them off the smoker, and we're going to unwrap them, and we're going to put them back on there for another hour. And we're going to glaze them every 15 minutes with this sauce. All right, we're going to let this thicken up. Maybe give it a couple more minutes, and then we'll put the sauce on the ribs. Now we're not going to go outside. I'm not going to take you outside because it's dark now. Lighting's not that good, but you'll see the end result. Stay tuned. Yeah, you want to put the sauce on while it's hot or warm. You never want to put cold barbecue sauce on your barbecue meats, right? It just throws everything off. So just remember that. Keep it hot or keep it off, right? Remember that. All right, so we pull it off the grill, off the smoker. Let's give it one last quick baste. Looks nice. Now we're going to let this rest for 15 minutes, and we're going to cut it up and ready. Like I say, these ribs are going to be resting for about 15 minutes. Then we're going to slice them up, and we're going to plate them up. All right, so let's rest it. Let's get these guys here transferred over to our cutting board. And get this bad boy cut up. Normally what I would do is I would turn the rib over so I can see where the bones go, so I know where to cut. But in this particular instance, I know they're slightly curved. I don't want to mess up, the glaze that's on top. So I'm going to try to cut them, or at least attempt to cut them, while they're on this side. So let's see how it goes. Let me get a better knife. The best knife for this, believe it or not, fillet knife. Works real well. Cut it down. Oh, this was a little guy here. Look at it, just falls apart. On the plate. And normally I would double cut these, but I'm not. I'm not going to double cut them, even though I want to. I want to real bad, but I'm not going to. But I'm going to two-bone it. So every rib is going to have 2 bones. It's just as good. See that? 2 full bones. See that? Two bones is what I want. Cut it through. Again, 2 bones. Nice. Another 2 bones. Look how tender that is. I'm going to eat that piece that fell there. I'm going to eat this guy and put this to the side. And this last cut for 2 bones. Look at that. Isn't that nice? And then, of course, the last bit here. Okay, dry my hands off. Let me taste this real quick. Taste the scrap. That's good. That's good. I know you're going to enjoy this. Delicious. All the citrus. Woo! Look what we got here. Huli Huli ribs. Oh, to die for. If you like this recipe, try it out. After you try it out, give me a thumbs up. Put your comments down. Let me know what you think. And definitely share it out. This is Shrashira, and I am out.